Stand up.
No,
in the
don't
Bible.
even make it stand up.
I, Roger Frank, do solemnly swear to affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the Park Board member of the City of Casson of the State of Minnesota to the best of my judgments and abilities. Got a pen? This was old business, not new business.
Thanks, Roger.
That's all right.
Here.
We'll get it.
Sure. All right.
So when it's Greg's turn, you make him stand up by the.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah,
Make them
yeah.
all there and everything, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. There
Right,
you go.
he went to, he may not be here, he went to Daytona, he went to the Daytona 500, I know, I've seen that on Facebook, so he may not be back yet from Florida, so.
Don't blame him. All right, down to select a chairperson for 2019.
I think
And-
she's doing just fine.
Yep,
I'm gonna say Ronnie asked me today, I'm fine, if you guys are all okay with it. Okay.
Sounds good. Probably should make a motion then.
All right.
I'll make a motion that Liza be chairperson.
I
Okay.
second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? All right, I will be the chairperson again.
Roger, were you the
Yeah.
second on
Yeah.
approving the minutes
Yep.
as well? Okay.
Yep.
And Ryan's not here, I see.
No.
I guess he donated
Yeah,
football.
Ryan, yeah, what usually happens, Canyon Youth Football, every year they come and they donate some money to the park board for the cost to cover up for the painting and stuff of the football field for the Saturday youth football program on Saturdays and stuff, so I do know that he will come and present something again to us, I know that, so we'll probably be here tonight. Okay?
Perfect, all right, well, we'll go down to, the Dodge County Youth Hockey, and Terry Luff, is it?
Yes.
Okay, and then Eric Ellingheim is here, just, if you guys remember, it was last year, almost a year and a half ago, when Mike Stegman came in and kinda talked to us about the hockey rink and stuff, and raising some money to.
Weren't they talking about like expansion and stuff?
Yeah, yep, and so these guys, they've kind of formed another association or whatever, or another board, and just getting things rolling again, so they just wanted to come here and explain to you guys kinda what's going on. Go ahead, you got the
You
floor.
can just sit right
Yep.
there.
Yeah, you can just sit and relax. Okay.
So I'm Terry Luff, I'm the president of the Dodge County Youth Hockey Association. You talked about Mike Stegman, who championed a pretty big initiative to add another sheet of ice. That was his objective.
Yeah.
I won't say his, that was the association at the time, that was their objective. That kinda got a lot bigger than I think anybody expected, became unwieldy, and frankly doesn't address the things that we would like to address. So what we're hoping to do is to open a dialogue with you guys, create a partnership where we can work together on things that we both agree should happen at the rink, improvements that need to be made, enhancements to the facility. Basically, I was telling Eric, we've got a list of things that we'd like to do, improvements in the visitor box and the penalty, there's things that just kind of wore out. The locker rooms could use some, so we got a list of things that we'd like to do. We don't think all of this falls exclusively on the rink to address, because frankly, it's more than, it meets requirements right now. We'd like to know what we can do to work with you to improve some of those things. So we've got a list of things we want to do. The rink folks probably have things where those overlap is where we'd like to focus. So things that we both want to achieve. And then based on those successes, we can build a roadmap for doing other great things. We have a fairly stable revenue stream. We've got a charitable gambling program that Eric oversees. So we've got some revenue that we could add to this, and frankly, that's what that money is for. It's a capital improvements program. We want to do things that, we don't want to just make hockey cheaper. We want to make the facility better. We want to make the program better. So that's what we wanted to start a dialogue, I guess, with you guys today.
Like, what kind of projects, are you looking at, whatever, Terry, certain things, or you have any idea or a list of anything?
That's sort of what this committee came together. We've got a list of, just some brainstorm ideas, and then we threw some I'll call them made-up numbers on it. You know, Eric
Yep.
guesstimated a lot of it. And, you know, it includes the adding onto the structure as a high-end item. It also includes placing new rink boards in the locker rooms, so kids, you know, they can do the plays. So there's $200 items, there's $50,000, there's $150,000 item. But we want to, you know, tackle the things that, you know, have the most improvement that may not be funded. Again, we don't really understand the inner workings of how the facility is funded, but we'd like to, you know, see how we can, like I said, partner with you to make those sorts of improvements, things that you might think need to be done that are out of the budget.
Well, Teresa, she actually belongs to the committee between the county and
Yes.
the city, so she probably can
Yeah,
answer
so there
a lot.
is an arena committee made up of city representatives and county representatives. And we are meeting on February 28th at 4 p.m. on the other side.
Great.
And if you wanna shoot an email to city administrator at City of Townsend with your list of things, I can make sure it gets out to all the, arena committee members ahead of time.
Great.
I know when we joined in with the 50/50 share costs with the county, we did at the beginning do quite a bit of few little things to upgrade the facility as far as what we did start out with. We had a list and we did it, you know, we did get quite a bit of the list done. You know, we added ceiling, you know, the dehumidification system. You know, I know that just talking to some of the guys, whatever, that work there, you know, I know like the hockey boards are old boards, you know, I mean, they're eventually gonna have to be replaced, and they're looking, you know, $100,000, you know, stuff like that. You know, and I know the upgrades of the locker rooms and stuff like that has always been talked about, and, you know, maybe adding something on to the building where you can have a training facility, and maybe make it more friendly for the people, you know, or heat wise and stuff like that. And I know that's all been kind of discussed amongst ourselves and stuff like that. So, you know, what you guys are doing, I mean, it's a great thing, I think, for the community to at least have somewhat of a plan in place to see what we can do and what we can work with, and because it definitely is, the building is, was it 20, over 20 years old? 20-some years old?
We're 25.
About 25 years old now, so,
Yep.
I mean, you know, and you know, the compressors and stuff like that, I know they run the thing, and we've had, we got kind of a glycol leak, you know, down
Yep.
on the floor, you know, so there is like maintenance issues, I know, that have to be looked at and addressed, because we gotta make sure we always keep the ice, you know, in really as good a shape as we possibly can do, but, it's something that needs to be looked at, and I think you guys are, that's a good thing to look at. I know that the two gentlemen that came before, Mike Stegman and, Mike Peterson?
I think it was Mike Peterson.
Yeah, they talked
No,
about.
I don't think it was Mike, anyway,
But
it was
anyway,
somebody else.
Yeah.
But I know they talked about possibly wanting to get a whole new, completely different sheet of ice, or a whole new building and stuff like that. And, you know, I mean, they talked about that when they were here last, and you know, I think what the biggest thing is that we don't know a lot as far as, you know, we know the numbers of the people that come through that building, you know, I think Teresa, did we say about 87,000?
87,000 visits in the calendar year last year.
2018.
87,000.
Yeah,
visits.
people went through that building, so that's a lot of people using that facility or in that facility. So, and it gets used every day.
Yep, all year round.
All year round, you know, and, so, you know, coming up with a plan to take care of that facility and to upgrade and make some upgrades, I think it's a smart move, to be honest with you. I mean, I know that the program is always want to have more people involved in it, and have more people using it, and want to have more practices through the years and stuff like that. But, with us being the only rink in the summertime that has ice, you know we're gonna be busy there. It's just like our aquatic center, you know, we have a lot of people that go through that in the summertime too, so I think you guys are on the right track. That's me being a park and rec guy, just like, you know that.
Yeah, and mean, and from the numbers, you know, so like I said, with the gambling and stuff, so what we're doing, we're positioning ourselves with, obviously, we know that we've recently lost a site, so we're down to a single site, we're adding 2 more, one in Rochester and stuff, and then Pete's in town here too. So we're trying to help so we can actually have the extra funds. So any of those sites on average, just so you guys have an idea, we're looking at about, you know, probably profit of $15,000 a month. So those are that's why we try and do that, because not only the kids, but to give them, to help start funding some of these things, because we know money's tight everywhere. It's hard to get some of these things done, and so we're willing to offer up a lot of that stuff, and really a lot of the work, because our association's filled with people of the trades. So I mean, coming in there to say, you know, a lot of the times we just go, hey, we want to put this up, and I mean, a group of 6 people show up and the thing gets built in 2 hours, you know.
Yeah.
So we know that that's opportunity, and so I think a lot of it is we're trying to just balance that funds with our people and make sure, you know, from the park board is go, how does this partnership work? Is it okay for us just to kind of, you know, because of the monetaries, you know, and how the money flows, is it okay for us to come in and, hey, put $5,000 to put in a new boards or whatever it is?
Right, because right now, I think our budget is based on about $285,000, I think it is, to run that facility per year.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, it's not cheap to run the facility. Howie does a fabulous job, you
Yep.
know, to be able to create that money and bring that back, so at least we have a try to break-even type deal.
Yep.
And that's great, you know, but any money that can be added from another outside source, such as yourself, you know, and that charitable gambling, I mean, that helps tremendous. Now, is there I mean, I used to be on the fire department, we used to do pull tabs too. Now, is there a certain percentage or something that can come out of that money, or can all of it be donated just because it's under youth or whatever?
For us, all of it can be donated because under youth. So essentially, we're charitable gambling. So as long as we can do it to anywhere. So I mean, that's part of our things is I know that we give to Lions and Byron, and some of these, and we give to each of the cities because they do their ice. Just because, you know, so then it's an easy. So it's anything with youth, anything with city. You know, we pay the city tax in Byron and stuff like that with those. So
Okay.
we just have to justify. Ultimately, the reality is we have to spend the money we make because there's UBIT taxes and there's a whole nother. It gets to be a whole nother thing, but
Right.
you know, but we have to spend it. But these are good opportunities because everyone, you know, comes back to the community. Everybody uses. There's that 87,000 people come through here.
Yeah.
They're coming to town for the hockey tournaments, the hockey games, and you know, hopefully we can keep them in, you know, in the area and with all the other stuff too.
Right. So I see, and I've seen this the other weekend, I think you guys made your money back from the ones that got stolen? 16,000?
Well, that's mostly true. So we had an
Okay.
$11,000 loss when we had the theft, and we made back 16,000, which is fantastic.
Okay.
We averaged $4,000 a month out of that facility, so we had loss of revenue in 2017. Yeah, so it was, we took a pretty good hit on that, so we're behind on where we would have been, had we been in there. I'll call it an advantage, we don't really know what to do with that money yet, because we don't have a plan, because we don't know what we're gonna be allowed to do, what we can do, what we should do. And that's exactly what we're trying to establish now, so that we have an objective. And it won't just be these funds. Once we define those projects that we think are important, that exceed our budget, we can open that up to the community, and we have benefactors that are willing to help with that as well. So we expect this to grow, but we need a plan. We need to be able to tell people, if somebody could just come in and pull a number off saying, yeah, I'll buy you guys new glass, whatever, you know, then they can write it. You know, they have their, but they get to commit, because they know that we're gonna do it, because we've done it before. And that's why we've got to start, you know,
Right
now, with the
Right.
things that we can
That's
do.
great, and perfect to go to their committee.
Yeah.
Just-
No,
Arena
it's
committee
awesome that
meeting.
you're here
Yeah.
tonight.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep, so,
Wonderful.
I wish you guys lots of luck.
That's great.
Yeah, definitely.
Should we work exclusively with them? Do you want us to check back with you
I think
periodically?
you go with Teresa and the county board there and that stuff, and then Teresa can, entail me, and then I can represent it back to the park board, and we'll kinda keep all kind of on the same page, and us coming through the facility, you know, I mean, working close with Steve, and then working with, you know, we can kinda look at the building itself and kinda put our heads together and see what projects need to be dialed up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, what's the most needed and where we can go from. I mean, that's a good idea, you know, so.
Great.
Perfect.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, guys,
Well,
for
thank you
coming
for
in.
coming. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
You bet.
Right.
Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's a great change.
Fine.
Great change.
And I,
That's really good.
and I think,
Willing to work with it, that's a big thing.
and I think they should be on that
Yes.
board because they live it day in and day out. I know Howie's been around, but maybe we need a little outside information besides what Howie gives us.
Mhm.
Teresa, who's still on the board? Who's on the board?
Dave Kenworthy, he's a new,
He used
he's
to
a
be-
county commissioner.
He used to be
Yeah.
the fire chief here in Casson, he was a fire chief over in Dodge Center. I don't know if he's on the fire department anymore yet or not.
He was
may be.
wearing a fire department
he
shirt.
still is.
Fire
I
department,
think
yeah,
he's
so.
chief.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chief of Dodge Center.
And Jim Ellington, and then, myself and Howie.
Okay.
Oh, and Mayor McKern.
Oh, sure.
There are 5 in fact, yeah.
That's great.
Cool.
Good.
And that's held, is it like the last, is it
It's
just
like
once
a
a
fourth,
month, or?
well, we usually meet on a fourth Thursday at 4 p.m. It doesn't necessarily mean we meet every month
Right.
on the fourth Thursday,
If
but.
you got something to
yeah.
talk about, then
Yeah,
you do.
but
Cool.
we'll set something up.
All right, awesome. Great. Should we move down to Aquatic Center?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to,
I was gonna say, yeah,
say,
Dan,
yeah,
we should.
Nice to be part of the board, good to have you here.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody go around the room, we can introduce each other, and everybody,
Sure.
you know.
Hi, Dan.
Jason?
Roger Frankie.
Mhm.
And you know me.
And you know me?
Welcome, though, we're
Thank you.
excited to have you.
There's one question. Is this recorded?
Yes,
Meeting?
I do have it
I
recorded,
never-
yeah.
We should pull our mics down, because otherwise, half the time you can't hear,
Mhm.
so if anybody's talking.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I've noticed when you try to listen, I didn't know Park Board was recorded every time, so.
Yep, yep. it
We
is.
found that out through EDA.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's just a habit.
Sounds good.
Some stuff I don't want recorded.
Exactly.
Well, it'll still pick it up, it just makes it easier for minutes.
Uploading it, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, Aquatic Center.
Okay, Aquatic Center, I got some info for our updates for this coming year. I have our complete list of our employees that are gonna work up the pool this summer. I did interviews, of course, in, Christmas break during the, during the winter, excuse me. We have a total of 72 employees that are gonna be hired this summer up to the Aquatic Center. The question last month, or the month before, we didn't have a meeting last month because of the weather, the coldness, but, back in December, I know Chuck asked me about to figure out some type of increase because I went from the 3 supervisors to 5 supervisors. What it all works out to be, they averaged around 35 hours a week, the supervisors did or will, okay? Which that includes, with the wages that they would make, could be about, for 2 people, it'd be $122.50 per week more on a 12-week season, so a total of $1,470 would be the increase to hire a couple extra supervisors instead of 3. So I think with the budget and whatever, I think we still should be able to handle it. If it was like 5,000-6,000 or something like that, that would be a huge difference or whatever, but as far as the hours go and for whatever we can figure out for the week, that's basically what it would be.
That's based on 35 hours though, correct?
Yep, and that's
So-
what they normally, or they could have less or whatever, and they won't ever have more. They won't have the 45 or 46 or, no. Because we don't have to pay overtime, remember, anything, over 48 hours. Anything over 48 hours, we have to pay overtime, and we normally never usually have the overtime as far as them wages. There is maybe once in a while that it could happen because of vacations or something like that, but that normally don't happen. Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm. So that was that part of the, for the supervisors. Repairs, we have a couple major things that we wanna repair, actually there's 3 things. First of all, we have, some quotes here from Thatcher, Pool and Spa, to change our sand in the filters. The facility now is 5 years old. and they recommend to change our sand filters, at least within every 5 years. As you can see, last year we had a quote from them for around $7,200. This year, the quote came in for $9,234.44, $2,000 increase. I got a quote from, just today, Chris just sent it to me, from Newman Pools, who put the pool in. Their quote to do the filters was $12,400 and some dollars. So it's about $2,500 less to have Thatcher out of Rochester come and do it. We did budget $20,000 as maintenance this year, and I remember we've always put that now in the budget. The council was really good to do that for us, because we just don't know if down the road that maybe a filter, a heater, one of the pumps or something goes out, you know, so we have that extra maintenance money in there to do the expensive items.
Is that maintenance money gonna roll over each year?
We hope so. I'm gonna put it in every year, and I'm gonna mention it to it budget
Is
time.
it for maintenance only?
For maintenance only, for high,
Mhm.
if we don't use it, then it'll just roll over to the next year. Yep. So, the other item on there for the maintenance is, first of all, is our drain grates. And what that is that's the Abigail Tyler Act. You know, we gotta change the grates. Well, what had happened is that we had a couple grates break a couple years ago, so we had to change a couple grates. We have 18 of them in the pool. With them, we found out now that them grates are good for up to 10 years. I talked to the lady over at Newman. But what happens is that if we take the drain grates out every winter, because we don't want them leaving in there to crack and stuff. So what happens is that sometimes after the usage, you can't tell them what year. There's no stamp on them. Okay? So with that, I'm just planning on doing the 18 grates this year in 2019. So that grate should be good all the way up to 2029. I do have a couple extra new ones that I know Chris had bought that we didn't use, so we got a couple new ones sitting there still in the package from last year that we have not used. So we'll have an extra one or two on there. The cost of the grates is unbelievable. They're $328.58 a grate. Okay? So that equals up to be $5,842.44 for the grates. Them are two of our major projects we're going to do this summer, in the spring, to have everything done. So we won't have to do the cleaning of the filters for 5 years, and we won't have to do the grates for 10 years.
Didn't we just replace grates?
That was that was all the the gutter grates.
Yeah.
Yep, so we're in good shape there too. And we got extra ones of them, Jason, that's a good question, good answer, but we got extra ones of them, so if something does seem to go wrong or something cracks, and which we can replace them. We do have extras. So as far as the grading and the drains and the filters, we should be in good shape. Okay?
What was the total from Thacker again?
Thatcher's was, total was $9,234.44. And what that includes, that also includes Roto-Rooter that they hire to come and suck all the sand out. They have vacuums that come in on these bigger facilities, the hotels and stuff, that go in there and then they suck the sand out, and that's also part of Thatcher's cost for that, but that all gets just one bill, so just to
Okay.
let you know, okay?
Okay.
So I just wanted to bring that maintenance part up. The third one is, which I found out, first of all, from our park cameras, and I had mentioned this to Teresa, that our server is over 5 years old and it's really actually outdated. They run for about a good 5-6 years, and we do not have right now cameras working up in the parks. And with that, we got broke in on Sunday night. Our pop machine in front of the park maintenance shed up at the North Park, where it's lit up. Someone took a crowbar and smashed it and opened up the thing and took the change and took whatever was in there. Now, I just emptied it here about 3 weeks ago, and there's not a lot of people out in the park in the wintertime. But that camera places it right there, and we could have seen and caught him and everything. So I have Jason from the police department today, and I have to call Pepsi, and they'll have to come in and repair the machine. But that's the first time since we've had pop machines in the park that ever got broke into out of all these years.
So
First time.
who knew the cameras weren't working?
Right.
Yeah, who knows that, yeah.
Right.
Inside job, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, it happened. But anyway, All Systems is, preparing a new server for us. And, they are working with CAM Telecom to get everything up into dated. And that cost to get the new server put in for the park cameras was about $2,500. Okay, so we're gonna have to absorb that cost and get them going. As far as the Aquatic Center, I don't think it's gonna be that expensive, but we're gonna have to look at the cameras in the Aquatic Center too. It's on a whole different system. It's still All Systems, but they got their own system, the Aquatic Center. And I still feel we need to have that camera, because
Oh, yeah.
if some incident ever happened, drowning, whatever, we wanna make sure we got stuff on camera. So I will let you guys know once they get the park done, and then it gets warmer, and we get into the Aquatic Center and have them look at the camera system there, I'll bring it back to you guys to let you know, okay? So them are the three repairs or the things that are gonna be up at the pool. The next thing on the pool is Josh has been working with me quite a bit. He's texted me, he's keeping me informed through the winter. He's got the clothing page set up with images over here already for all the swimwear and everything else for as far as the lifeguard jackets and everything else. So now the kids can get online already and start ordering their stuff. So that's nice. He'll text them, told them that they're all gonna get hired, you know, it's pretty much the same group as we had last year, so that's a great thing to have up and running. Normally, we don't have that far ahead of time, and when we meet in May, some of the kids have not even had an opportunity to buy clothes, so they don't get their clothes till third week in June, and, you know, or something like that. So this way, we're gonna be way ahead of it, and, I wanted to have that done, and it's worked out pretty good, so I'm really happy about that. And then the last thing, at the pool, we have a lifeguard training class. It's gonna be up there this year. We've got it out on the website. It's gonna be May 20th through May 24th for all new lifeguards. And, I think we have 10 or 11 that are gonna take the class. And then we can, add them to our staff. So we should be in really good shape with lifeguards. And, Abigail and Brave and Chosis are the ones, the instructors that are putting the class on. Okay? So, other than that, we'll have our annual meeting in May, the third Saturday in May, where everybody comes up to the picnic shelter and we go through everything, and the pool will open on that Saturday for Memorial Day weekend. Any questions on it? Okay.
All right. EAB management plan update.
EAB management, I wanted to kind of give you an update of how our plan has been going with the emerald ash borer and the ash trees here around town. A lot of communities are not at all as far as we are. I have to, not to brag, but I have to pat myself on the back after talking to some of these either bigger cities. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys don't have nothing in place. But anyway, we are doing good. Here's the amount of ash trees that have been treated. As of today, we have 20 trees on the boulevard that are being treated right now. There could be a few more yet down the road this year. We have, first of all, a total of 246 ash trees when we took our survey. That's what's on the boulevard in the city. 20 of them are being treated, and we've already taken down 112. So that's pretty awesome. We have 114 left to take down, or if they decide to treat them, then there'll be less to take down. So we're about halfway for the removals. And that's also all the stumps grounded too, so we're in pretty good shape. So the guys have been out there.
The forestry committee's really kicking ass, then, right?
Yep, they've done a great job.
That's Greg was here.
Yep.
I know,
Greg was
where's
here.
Greg when we need him?
Yep. So,
Ron, is there like an end date for this to be all completed to the state, or anybody, did they just
You know,
say,
that's a
okay,
great
by
question.
2025, you need to have all this finished, or
Yeah.
anything, or is not?
The Department of Ag, there's not a really specific date.
Okay.
All the communities from county to county are gonna be affected by EAB at a different time. Because the bug starts on the east side of the state, come out of Wisconsin, and it's gonna work all the way to the west side of the state. So certain counties are quarantined from here, here, here. Our county got quarantined quite a bit early because they found EAB on one of the traps here. So we've been quarantined now for about 3 years, okay? But over in Steele County and Waseca County, they're not quarantined yet. They haven't found anything yet. So that's just over in Owatonna. It's probably there, but they haven't seen it yet. Another question when people see, you've seen these reports on TV about the coldness, how cold it's gotten. 50% of them EABs are not gonna make it into this year. They are gonna be gone. But some of them still filter in underneath that bark and they still are tough, they're tough. They say that an EAB should be able not to make it after 25 below, but some do. So they figured around 50% of the population of EAB that are still under the trees right now, whatever, and that stuff won't make it, but there's still ones there. Well, what'll happen, it'll still migrate, it'll still go, and next thing you know, within another year, you're gonna have more and more. So EAP is not gonna go away. Just to let everybody know, it will not go away. So, to answer your question, Chuck, the rule is that it's gonna take 5 to 7 years to see an EAB or have your tree look really terrible. Okay, now we're gonna be entering our 4th year. We're gonna probably start seeing some of these ash trees really starting to look kinda rough shape, okay? By the 7th year, I'm hoping within the next couple, 2-3 years, that we have the remaining 114 ash trees gone out of our city. The only issue that we're gonna be dealing with is that all the private ones in the backyards, that's gonna be the issue. Cause by 7 years, and I mean within another 3 years, you're gonna be into that 6-7 year project already, and some of these trees are gonna have already been infested, and you're gonna have some hazardous trees in the people's property. But what we did, which was really good in our management plan, if everybody remembers, we put it that we have the right to go in the backyard and deem them trees hazardous, okay? If we deem it, and it's hazardous, we will contact the homeowner and say, you have 30 days or 60 days to take that, get rid of that tree. If they don't do it, then we as a city will hire a contractor to come in and we will take that tree down. Cause it is a hazard, it's a hazard to the public. So then if they don't wanna pay that, then they will get the bill. If they don't pay that bill, whatever, the city will pay the contractor and then the city will pay, send the bill to the homeowner. If they don't pay it, it'll get put back onto people's taxes. And that's why we will still get our money back and the trees will be gone. And that's what a lot of the communities are doing. So it's not like we're doing something different than anybody else. But that's kind of the update on the EAB. And I think we've done pretty good so far.
Have you, I know the state is looking at trying to set aside money for it. Have you contacted the state to
basically, a
apply for
lot
any
of that,
money?
a lot of that money goes to the upper metro. You know, a lot of that money is, some communities have called and asked for it, and they've never received or heard anything back from the state. The legislation wanted to set so much money aside for this EAB management, and like I say, I hate to say this, but there's so many ash trees. Like we're dealing with only 240.
Right.
Rochester's got 20,000. Minneapolis got 116,000. I mean, so some of them areas where they're gonna have that huge expenses, like you say, Dan, remember that a lot of that money and funding's gonna be going to the state legislation. And the reason why we did it is that I thought, you know what, let's jump on it right away, let's do something with it, and then we won't have to worry about it in the long run. But that's a great question, a lot of the money's still there.
Cause I know there's organizations that are pushing for an extra $5 million for this region, southeast Minnesota.
Oh, are they? Well, boy, that'd be nice for some of these communities that really need it, cause like the city of Manorville or Dodge Center or.
Well, there's a lot of communities that can't fund it, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, and we're lucky to have the street department and the electric department to have the equipment, so we got a bucket truck to get up there, take it and cut it down, we got, you guys went out and bought the stump grinder for us, I mean, everything's been really great, and we got, you know, that's what's worked out so nice for us, and a lot of communities don't have that, so. Okay, any other questions on EAB?
I was surprised only 20 treated.
Only 20 so far have been treated. Now, I've got a couple other people that gave me, I sent the forms back out, the orange forms, to the ones that haven't returned my forms for the first time. So I've gotten some back, and some want to treat, but when I get on the phone with them and I explain to them what the process is, it's a lifelong deal, and the city gives you, 10 years of it, whatever. they decided, oh, let's just remove it. So far, so good. The ones that I've received back haven't wanted the treatments yet, but only 20 so far. Yes, not including the ones that we've done in the park or here at City Hall. Okay.
All right, Lions Club donation to the picnic shelter.
Yes, probably Chuck can probably tell you that, a little bit more about that.
That's so long ago.
Yeah, but, is it Wayne Hendrickson? Is it Wayne? Not Wayne. Wayne gave a $3,000 check, or was it you, or?
I talked to Mark.
Yeah.
Mark got a hold of, oh my gosh, this is back
Oh,
in December.
Knutson.
Yeah, thank you. Lynn.
Lynn, yes, yeah.
And Lynn got the money from Mark, who turned around and gave it to you.
Park Department, yep.
Park Department.
For
So-
the improvement of Lions Park.
Of Lions Park.
And, you know, not particular if it's gonna be the shelter or not, but they
Right.
gave the donation to 3,000. They adopted Lions Park, of course, but that was awful nice of them. And I thanked Lynn. I did call him and
Yep.
thank him, you know, and stuff like that, and everything helps, and I appreciate all that. Yep.
But, but when I asked about it, he's kinda went, and I sent off a email off to Mark, and he said, really? And it just took the ball. He just took it and
Wow.
got everything rolling, and it was
Yep,
within a
that's
couple
great.
days.
That's
actually.
great.
So it worked out great.
Yep. So, thought I'd mention that to you guys, to let you guys know that.
All right, and then, Ron received a thank you letter from Grace Reed.
Yes, I suppose you guys probably didn't get this, but I think I'll just read it to you. Remember?
It was on the bottom of the email.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was awful nice of Grace. I will read it here quick like, but, pretty special little girl, but the things that she did and what she went out and raised for the thing, but I thought I'd read it to you. She wrote it on February 5th. I wanna thank you for all of your efforts to help me with the merry-go-round. I've seen many kids playing on it, and it gives me joy to know that I've helped raise the money to get it there, and that you all worked so hard to install it. Also, me and my brother thank you for putting the snow from our cul-de-sac in our yard. Me, my brother, and our family, our friends, have lots of fun playing on it. From Grace Reed. So, thought that was pretty cool that she, wrote it in cursive too, like.
Yeah,
Liza
I
pointed
saw,
out to
I'm
me.
like, hey, that's in cursive.
So, it was pretty cool.
Good
that
job.
she did that.
Cursive.
So, that's her little
Neat.
part. That was really nice of her, so.
Yeah.
So.
Sweetheart. All right, down to old business.
Old
Adult
business.
basketball league.
Yeah, kind of touch base here, we have that. First of all, we do not have an adult basketball league this season. To let everybody know, if you recall, during last year, I was struggling to find a supervisor. Well, first of all, I did not find a supervisor. Second of all, we only had 3 teams sign up. I cannot run a league with 3 teams, I need at least 4. So, I called everybody in the league, and I called the school, and I canceled the gym times for the season, and talked to Jessica out there, and I will try again next year. I'll put more effort, I'll probably put stuff in the DCI way ahead of time and see if we can get some new teams and new things, or get a supervisor, put that ad out there to, hire a supervisor to run the league. I don't really want to abandon it, nor does Jessica say that just because we lose it this year, we're not gonna be able to get it next year. So, I wanna still try next year to make sure we have the league, okay? Just let everybody know about it.
All right, budget update.
Budget update, we had, some budget, CIP project that we were gonna do. I started doing this here right after the first of the year. So far, I've ordered a set of new bleachers, that's gonna go at J. Hyde Casson Park behind the backstop there. We're gonna put a cement pad in there and put a set of bleachers back there, so people have the 8 and under girls softball program up there. There's not really a place to set up there, so at least we'll get a set of bleachers behind the backstop there, and so that can be done. Second, I have ordered the 60-inch zero-turn Toro mower. from Sandcoke Equipment Company, the old Bobcat company out of Stewartville. They are now our local dealership. I mean, I had been dealing with Manke's out of Owatonna, now I'm dealing with the people out of Stewartville. They have a complete parts list, parts store, everything there. And what was really nice about it, they gave me $2,000 more for our old trade-in for a mower. I got $5,500 on a trade-in. I mean, and Manke's was only gonna give me like $3 something, so I got a lot more money out of it. So our mower actually come in about $2,200 cheaper, which was great, around 10,000, 11,000 instead of 12 or 13. So, and that also includes the bagger and the detacher on it. So, yeah, so we did a nice deal and had a nice situation there. So that worked out good. It'll probably pay for the cameras in the park. So, and then we also too, the city entered in, and Dan might be able to touch more on this, but and Teresa could, but we entered into a fleet program for our city pickups. This will be our first year that we're doing this, correct? And one of our park truck is due, and that would be Chris's pickup. It's one of the oldest ones that we have in our fleet. And so that'll be ordered sometime this year and put into our fleet program for this summer, whatever and stuff. And that's a great deal. I think everybody there at the city, whatever, I think all us guys, I think it's a great deal. You have the truck for, how many years is it, Dan?
It's
3 to 5, it
3 to 5.
depends when they tell us to,
Okay.
you know, time to sell.
Yeah.
Then we'll sell it.
Cause they're gonna tell us the most value out of it.
Oh.
If
Yeah.
come 3 years, they got somebody looking for them, they'll say you wanna switch out and switch into new ones.
Okay.
So and your average payment on those trucks is like $350
A month?
a month.
Okay. Can't beat that deal, really.
No, and then.
And then you get new vehicle every 3 or 5 years or whatever it is, I mean, you can't beat that deal.
No, just the safety for the staff alone is
Yeah.
all worth
Correct.
it.
Yep.
And when we're looking at it, the value of overrun, it was just, we were spending too much money fixing the older ones.
Correct, yeah. So, yeah, and that went to, is the police department too, and the fire department on that too, or
Yeah.
something?
All city.
They all have vehicles that would be eligible in the
Oh.
program.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's a good deal, I think it's really a nice deal, and you'll
Mhm.
save money, right? The city saves money on it.
In the long run, cause we could
Yep.
take the money we had budgeted already for buying the vehicles, and then actually purchase more vehicles through this fleet management in the long run, so we were spending less money, we just spend it every month instead of trying to budget it over 2 to 3 years to buy one vehicle.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
think, what did we get this year? Is it 9?
9, yeah.
9
So
new
what we
vehicles.
had.
With what
yeah.
we had budgeted to buy.
Yeah, we
3
could get
or
9, 3, and
3
we were
vehicles.
able to get 9, so,
Wow,
yeah.
nice. I know I know that Charlie said that Chris was gonna be one of the pickups, so, yeah, so he was a park truck, so I thought I'd bring that up to you guys. Okay. And then, of course, the other things at the budget that we're still looking at is number one, we gotta do something out there to, Casson Meadows Park. Remember, we were gonna build a smaller picnic shelter, which we'll build ourselves. I budgeted $6,000 for that. And then we put another 15 in to add to that modular out there so we can complete that modular. And, so that should satisfy Scott, cause Scott's always, he's called me a lot,
Then he'll do the parking lot.
I hope so. Yeah, one day he will, the next day he won't. I guess I gotta get him at the right day, but anyway.
They've been waiting a long time though.
Yes, they have. So
Okay.
we'll get that, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get that, completed. And then, we still got $8,000 to, replace the fence out there at North 2 outfield fence. That has to be repaired. It was put in 1996. And it's in desperate repair. And, I am gonna still go to the joint ventures and still ask for some money help to pay the rest of it. I think I got an estimate of little over 12,000 to do the outfield fence. It's about 500 linear feet, and, I gotta put in new posts and new fabric. and that's about the cost of just to be the outfield fence, so I will, approach the joint venture.
You guys are gonna do the work?
No,
Or no?
that all gets done by, fencing company, Midwest Fencing, the one that did our pool and does all of our other fencing, yeah. So, that's another project that we had, slated for. And then we wanted to finish up doing the trash can lids, that really have been nice, the ones that, the black ones that we put in the park, it keeps the water out. We still got, a few of them to do, and we'll see what else all comes up in the budget, so, okay?
All right, down to correspondence, anybody
Anybody have
have
anything?
anything that they wanna talk about? Oh, pretty quiet group.
Oh, sorry, back to the Lions Park.
Yep.
We, I got with Mark Matuska, and we're gonna have a dedication ceremony with it after everything's completed. Some people were talking about doing it early spring and everything, and it's like, no, let's just wait till the whole project's done, and then we go out there and we're gonna, get a few people out there for speakers and stuff like that, so that'll be I'll update you on when all that starts to happen.
And that will be once the picnic shelter's completed?
Completed.
Oh, that's even with the picnic tables inside?
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause I know
We'll
this
see,
year,
I mean, once
know-
once the cement's in and everything, you know, it's like, I mean,
Right.
it's like, yeah, we could, but.
Right, 'cause I do know that we are slated for another $7,500 from the joint ventures for the picnic tables this year. That's kinda what I wanted to use it for. Now, we won't use that much money, but they allocated $15,000 for the funds, you know, for the help of that shelter, which was really nice.
Mhm.
So, I will be talking to, Mark Matuska.
Okay.
At, I don't know if it'll be this month's meeting, but next month's meeting, whatever, and kinda bring up the other $7,500, 'cause I know that I think they paid the $7,500 for 2018, and now 19, they're gonna give us another 75. So, we should have everything pretty much done, the whole building, the cement work, the sod, the picnic tables, everything should be done, electrical, everything should be done.
Okay.
And with that, we were gonna talk a little bit, I wanna bring it up, what did we figure on, the solar thing? Remember we talked about that?
You know, actually, we're nowhere with the solar thing.
Nowhere yet.
Yeah.
The cost came in about double what we had paid for the one that's out at Public Works, and, I didn't get a response from NextEra after I sent them that price,
Okay,
so
so we may not be
we
doing the solar.
may not be doing that.
Okay.
That was last December you sent that out, wasn't it?
Yeah,
December.
yeah, so I just haven't heard anything since.
Okay. Other than that.
All right, if nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, meeting adjourned. So our next one is March 19th.
6 o'clock.
Shouldn't be snowing.
6 o'clock, right here.
Hope not.
It
Should
could
be
be.
snowing.
Shouldn't be.
It
It
could
could
be.
be. Could be.
It is only March.
It could snow in May.
Or
June.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It was April when everybody went crazy last year.
Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
We just can't take anymore.
We had 15 inches in May one year.
yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
You
What?
pass on the word to the snowplow, people doing the snowplow.
Yeah.